Hey y'all, welcome to Robin on the Farm. Today I'm making a tropical banana bread. This is Hummingbird banana bread. This originated in Jamaica, and so it has all of those tropical flavors of the islands. It is so good. Let's just get started on the recipe. I'm gonna start with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I am not using a mixer or anything like that. I'm just gonna put this all in the bowl and just mix it up by hand because it's so simple. So 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. You don't need your bread flour or anything like that for this bread. Next, we're gonna want 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of plain old white sugar. Just measure that out and put it right on into your bowl. Next, we want 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I always buy my cinnamon in bulk because I use a ton of cinnamon in my baking and I just love it, especially this time of year. Cinnamon is fantastic. Okay, so 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I'm gonna use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is some ancient fine sea salt. You can use plain old white table salt, just fine. Definitely don't measure it over your bowl though. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, right on in there. Next, you want some baking soda. This is a quick bread, so the baking soda is gonna be our leavening agent. There's no yeast or anything like that. So you want 1 teaspoon of baking soda, just right on in there. Now I'm gonna take this whisk and I'm just gonna kind of whisk up these ingredients just to get them all mixed together so it's not too salty on one side or anything like that. Now to these dry ingredients, we're gonna add our wet ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and add our banana. This is 1 cup of mashed banana. My bananas look like this. You want them nice and ripe. This is 1 cup, 2 bananas. Just put those right on in there on top of your dry ingredients. And next I'm gonna add 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. Just throw them right on in there. Now we want 3/4 cup of oil. I'm using this olive oil. You can also use coconut oil. Now that I think about it, I should have used coconut oil. That would be really good in this. But any just light tasting oil that you want to use, olive oil, coconut oil, sunflower oil, any of those will work. Next, we want some pineapple. You can already tell this bread is going to taste good, can't you? This is 1/2 cup of pineapple chunks. You can really use the tidbits or the crushed pineapple, whatever you want, but you're going to want the pineapple with the juice, and you want it to be the 100% pineapple juice. So this is 1/2 cup of pineapple and the juice. I'm just gonna measure that right on in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick stir. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these ingredients incorporated together, and then we're gonna add a couple more tropical ingredients. So once you've gotten these ingredients totally incorporated, it's time to add some pecans. I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of pecans. You can use walnuts, you can use whatever you want, but the traditional recipe is pecans. 1/2 cup of pecans and 1/2 cup of coconut. This makes it really good. This is sweetened, shredded coconut. Now, I know some people love coconut or they hate coconut. So if you don't like coconut, don't add the coconut. This is gonna have plenty of flavor without the coconut. My husband loves coconut. His father hated coconut. So if you don't like it, leave it out. That's the beauty of homemade desserts and breads. Now let's give this a good mix. Now, as the story goes, this recipe, it's really for hummingbird cake, but we're making it into a banana bread. This recipe came from Jamaica. In the late 60s, Jamaica was trying to increase their tourism. So they sent this recipe up to the United States, and this recipe really caught on in the southern United States mainly. It was printed in Southern Living magazine in the late 60s or the early 70s, and everyone started making it. This was their most requested recipe in Southern Living for years and years and years. And I know in my own family, there's stories of my great-grandmother, Queenie Irizell Redmond, making this really amazing hummingbird cake. And so this is kind of like her cake. I almost forgot the vanilla. We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Don't forget your vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. It's gonna be just fine to add it right now. So my great-grandmother, Queenie Irizell Redmond, she was born in the late 1800s, and she was this little old woman. I never met her, but my mom tells me stories about her. She was not even 5 feet tall. She had a size 4 shoe, tiny little thing, probably not even 100 pounds, and she made really good hummingbird cake. She was 15 years old when she eloped with my great-grandfather. He was 12 years older than her. They were from Alabama, and they had the same last name before they even got married. But they were from Alabama, they eloped, they got married in Georgia, and supposedly she was just the sweetest, kindest little old lady, just the classic grandma. So I like hearing stories about her. I love doing genealogy work and family history work. There's definitely some amazing stories if you start digging into your genealogy, kind of like of Quinnie Iredell Redmond. She was the youngest of 10 kids, and she was born in Alabama. And so I just think that she sounds delightful, and I know that she loved baking and cooking, and I do too. So I kind of feel a little bit connected to her through that. Now that our batter's all ready, let me go ahead and show you my bread loaf pan before I pour the batter in. This is my Lodge cast iron bread loaf pan. Love this thing. This is an 8.5 by 4.5. If you use a 9 by 5, it's just gonna bake a little bit less time. But let me just show you this. For quick breads, I love using bread loaf liners. This thing is fantastic. This makes it 1,000 times easier to get your bread out of the bread loaf pan when you get done with it. Because sometimes quick breads are moist and they stick and they can fall apart. Not with these. These are great. So I'm using this bread loaf liner, and I'm gonna just go ahead and pour my batter into this liner in the bread pan. Oh, this smells so good. I'm so glad I didn't forget the vanilla at the end. So while you're making this, go ahead and get your oven preheated to 350 degrees so that when you have it all mixed up, you can throw it right into the oven, because this is so quick. Quick breads really are quick. They're known as quick breads because they don't have to rise or anything, but they're so quick to put together and throw in the oven. So I love quick breads. Okay, so here is our Hummingbird banana bread, tropical banana bread. It is gonna be delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in my oven. It's preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm gonna let this bake from 50 minutes to an hour. I'm probably gonna let mine go about 55 minutes, but everybody's oven is different, so start checking yours at about 50 minutes. So I'm gonna throw this in there, and I will show it to you when it's all baked. Our Hummingbird banana bread is fresh out of the oven. I let it bake for about 57 minutes. I might have let it go a little bit too long. It's looking a little brown, but I think it's gonna be great. I'm gonna go ahead and do the toothpick test. If you don't know about the toothpick test, you grab a toothpick, you put it in the middle of your quick breads, and you pull it out. And if it's clean, doesn't have any raw batter on it, then you know it is good and done all the way through. And this one looks great. So I'm gonna let this cool just for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna get it out of the pan. Here's our loaf of tropical Hummingbird banana bread, fresh out of the oven. It looks so good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it out of this loaf pan now so it can start to cool. I let it sit on the counter for about 10 minutes just so I could handle the loaf pan. But there we go. Oh, isn't that so great? I love these loaf liners because I don't have to struggle with trying to get the loaf of bread out of the bread pan. No matter what kind of bread pans I use, no matter how much I oil them, sometimes quick breads just stick. And I give a lot of quick breads away as gifts for the holidays. And the worst part was trying to get those breads out of the little loaf pans without them breaking so that they still look pretty when you're giving them away as gifts. So I love these loaf liners. They make mini ones too, and I'm gonna use them this Christmas for sure. Okay, well here is our Hummingbird banana bread. It looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and let it cool just for a couple minutes so that it's not too crumbly when I cut into it, and then we'll check out the inside. Okay, it's only been about 10 more minutes. I cannot wait to let this thing cool. It smells too good and I really wanna eat it. So let's go ahead and peel this loaf pan liner off. Let's see how good it comes off. Oh yes, no problem there. Just peeled right off, no problem. That is fantastic. Okay, so here's our loaf of bread. Tropical Hummingbird banana bread. Doesn't that look good? It baked really well. Like I said, I probably left it in a few minutes too long, but I got busy with some laundry and didn't hear the timer going off. So that's real life. That happens sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut into it. Like I said, it's still warm. If you want to have the best crumb and texture, even with quick breads, you want to let it cool all the way, but I'm not going to do that. I like to eat nice, warm bread fresh out of the oven. Oh, that looks good though. Look at that. You can see the pineapples, pecans, the coconut. Oh, that looks good. You can even see little pieces of the banana. Oh, this looks great. Okay, I gotta take a little bite. Oh my goodness. The best banana bread in the world right here. I really think it is. It's so good. So much flavor, so much sweetness, but not too sweet. The pecans, everything just makes it so good. This might be the best banana bread in the entire world. So many good flavors in it. Oh, it's just so good. I'm gonna leave the recipe for this tropical hummingbird banana bread down in the description. There's gonna be a link that you can click on, that you can print it, share it. If you wouldn't mind sharing with this recipe with your friends and family, I would appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here with me on Robin on the Farm. I will see you next time. Here are the bread bags that I use to keep my breads nice and fresh after I bake them. I will put a link for this and for the bread loaf liners down in the description so you can easily find them.
Robin's in the kitchen, dough beneath her hands, wheat from the fields and eggs from her land. Sunlight through the window, a warm golden glow. She's working hard to make that dough.